What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Asian Men Can't Jump. Today we're going to be doing our own mock drafts, but let's just do a quick recap of everything that's been going on with the draft. So, just the top 10 picks are the Panthers, who traded with the Bears to receive the first overall pick. The second is the Texans, because they had one of the worst records in the league. Then the Cardinals, Colts, Seahawks, Lions, Raiders, Falcons, Bears, and Eagles. Eagles was traded, Seahawks was traded, and
Also, this is yesterday. Aaron Rodgers did get traded to the Jets, so the Jets don't really need a quarterback anymore.
that is true, yeah. Okay, so just some notable names. Number one is Bryce Young, probably the most hyped out of this draft class. Despite his 5'8" stature, he is probably the best playmaker out of the entire class. He won a Heisman in the 2021 season, and is overall just a really great QB. He can play two ways, and he has one of the strongest arms out of this class. Then we got Jalen Carter, who is one of the best defensive tackle prospects we have seen in a while, probably since Quentin Williams. Then we got Will Anderson, another edge rusher, who has a very strong build, very explosive off the line. And just to the other QBs, we got C.J. Stroud, who in my opinion is probably the best out of this draft, coming from Ohio State. I think he should be drafted first overall because he's one of the best QBs. And then we got Will Levis, who is probably the next Zach Wilson, if I'm going to be honest. So, yeah.
Okay, we're actually going to start now?
Yeah.
So, Rohan, you're very good in
I'm
depth.
going to introduce you guest.
Oh, yeah, we got this bum off the street. He knows a little bit, I guess. I don't
Only a
know.
little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
Blake, do you want to go over it? You're screen recording, right?
So
Yeah.
we have a screen recording of Oddbait's iPad right now, who is doing a mock draft of his iPad.
So anything we say will be on there.
Exactly. So, for the first overall pick by the Carolina Panthers, who traded away DJ Moore, a very strong superstar receiver, to the Bears for the first overall pick and I believe a few other picks in next year's draft. And my guess is that they're taking a QB because their running game has shown, after CMC left last year, their running game has shown to be pretty powerful. And I think their receiving core is a bit lackluster, but I think if they've traded for a few people, they've gone Miles Sanders, and yeah, just overall, I think Bryce Young or probably a QB. Hopefully, I think they might go with Anthony Richardson. What do you guys think?
You can talk first.
I would say I think the Panthers might go for someone on the defensive side because Luke Kuechly is kind of coming to the end of his career, you know.
Yeah.
So they need that like.
Hold on. Luke's been retired for years. I was like, I did not know he was in the league still.
Okay, okay.
Talking about Luke Kuechly, bro.
It's Bryce Young, bro, guaranteed.
It's probably gonna be Bryce Young. I mean, you're giving up all these players
Wait.
and all these. You're giving up DJ Moore.
Oh,
You're giving up a
say that
bunch
later.
of picks. So you're like, you have to go all in. You're going all in.
But
You're
here's-
giving up all
here's
your
another-
players. You gotta get someone back.
Here's another thing. 2014, Panthers had the first overall pick. Guess who they drafted?
Cam Newton.
Cam
We all
Mother
know.
freaking Newton. One of the best dual threat QBs the NFL has ever seen out of
So you think they're
Auburn.
going Anthony
I
Richardson?
would
And
say
I do think they will go with Anthony Richardson because
Okay, we're having a vote.
He-
Bryce Young or Anthony Richardson? Raise your hand if it's Bryce Young. You think Bryce Young? Who do you think?
I think
Nah, I
Anthony
think it's
Richardson's
Richardson.
falling, bro. He's falling to like.
So we both-
honestly,
That is-
top
that's
10.
true, but think
you see
about it.
the odds for Will Levis to go number one?
Yeah, he's third now.
I will say though, I think one thing that might be a surprise on draft day is if they go with the defensive guy because they already have J.C. Horn, right?
They have
Yeah.
Brian Burns
They do,
too, probably
right?
the best
But-
edge rushers in the league.
They're trying. I think they could have like a really good defense if they go like something like a Chase Young type thing, you know?
Yeah,
They
Okay.
could.
yeah.
I
Will
feel like
Levis
they
and
would.
Jalen.
They could have gone that if they were a team like the Texans, because the Texans have another like early pick. I think the 12th pick, so they could draft a
Second
quarterback.
pick.
No, 12.
And
Second.
Second and 12th. yeah.
So the Texans could like take a defense and then draft.
Did they get
QB
the
at
12th pick
12.
from the Browns?
Yeah.
Okay.
And but then the Panthers don't really have a pick after their first overall, so
Yeah,
they don't get a quarterback. They
yeah.
won't get a quarterback from this class.
I'm expecting Bryce Young.
Yeah.
And
You think Anthony Richardson?
yeah, so just to put some background,
He thinks Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson really showed out at the combine. He broke nearly every QB record physically, had one of the fastest 40-yard dashes. Probably, I think he broke the vertical jump record for QBs. Overall, He's built like a running back at QB, and he has the arm. I've watched some of his film. His decision making is pretty bad, but I think knowing Carolina, they've dealt with QBs like this.
That comes with like when you're an NFL quarterback, you learn.
Yeah. So I think
he's a project. Like
here's
Malik Willis.
here's my guess. His first season probably not going to be as good. Second season, over the offseason and with more NFL experience, he'll definitely flesh out into Cam Newton, probably like Daniel Jones type QB. He's very physically gifted, and I think the
He's
Panthers
like
will-
Trey Lance. Got a big body too.
Yeah, Panthers
Okay,
will repeat
but
his
Let's
So
just
the-
pick Bryce Young because we wasted 60 minutes, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna go Bryce Young.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, Bryson.
Okay, let's go on number 2. The Texans have the second pick in the draft. I think C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, I think he just tried to.
CJ Stroud.
Probably will have it.
And realistically, Texans could also probably take JSN.
That's a reach.
That is
It's a
a
very big
reach, but they could end up trading up. Maybe. I think Brandon Cooks has gone undrafted. He's getting traded up,
I think so too.
and he's probably going to be traded to.
Wait, he might be on. Yeah, I think
He
he's
wants
on.
to be. He
might be
said
on
he
the
doesn't
Texans.
really want to be a part of the Texans.
Anyway,
either.
C.J.
Yeah,
Stroud,
traded.
3,688 total yards in his 2022 season on a 41 touchdown and 6 interception ratio. The second highest QBR in Division One football with 88.9. So he's a very talented quarterback.
Oh, my bad. You got
And
traded.
Brandon Cooks is already.
That is on me. But
Like I think they will make a move on draft day.
Like I was
Yeah, he
saying,
probably-
CJ Stroud's film and his overall like decision making is the best in this draft class. He's very intelligent when it comes to throwing the ball. You can tell he has a lot of experience, and it's just overall like he's a very strong pocket passer, and he has really good decision making. The only thing that might be a problem for him is just getting used to the Texans receiving core because they don't really have much going on over there other than Dalton Schultz. So hopefully we can see this guy grow and hopefully carry the Texans to some decent playoff reaching.
Okay, let's go to pick number 3. The Cardinals hold pick number 3, and
Oh.
I'm gonna say this, but I think that they are going to trade.
I think they are going to trade down, but I think
I
in
don't
this
know
mock
if
draft we're not going to do trades.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know who they're gonna trade to, but if the Cardinals do make a trade, it's gonna be big.
I think yeah.
If they don't make a trade, though, what are you guys' predictions on who they think?
I think it's going to be Jalen Carter because they need D tackle the most. They have edge rushing like Max Allen and Chandler. No, not Chandler.
Chandler. No,
Who's
Chandler
that dude?
Jones got traded.
I
He
don't
got,
know. That dude, I forgot his name.
What you got?
He's white.
He's retired.
I mean, he
He's
was
retired, so.
No, but they have good D line, but they don't really have a good D tackle. So I think Jalen Carter. I think Jalen Carter is the most dominant player in this class. He's the best overall talent too.
I think that the Texans could trade up to get their wide receiver duo with their draft. We said C.J. Stroud, right?
Yeah.
I think they could trade up to get their duo.
That would be a lot of capital if they give up. Where are they?
I think
I mean, they're actually at number 12. It's not even that bad, but if they give up another third, fourth.
you have to do another first round at least to go up to 3.
Do they have it?
We'll have
this
one
year.
next year for sure, and they'll probably be a good one too because they suck.
All right. So let's move on to the Colts.
Oh wait, who are you gonna pick for
Jalen
the
Carter.
Cardinals? Okay, for Jalen Carter.
Yeah, Jalen Carter. So Colts have a pretty good history drafting QBs in the first round. You got Peyton Manning, you got Alex Smith,
Andrew Luck.
Drew. Oh yeah, sorry, not Alex Smith, Andrew Luck.
Alex.
Very good QBs. But I think, and most of us I think think they draft Will Levis.
I think this is where Anthony Richardson goes off. I think he'll get.
If he doesn't
Taken
get
by the
drafted by the
Colts.
Panthers, maybe by the Colts. But the Colts,
It's a
First-
throw. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft. There's
I
like
don't
4.
think the Colts have a scheme for Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're more. He's
I mean, the
more
Colts
of a
don't have a
pocket
scheme for
passer.
anyone.
their
Colts.
coaching is just horrible. Jeff Saturday does not know how to coach a team.
That's why he's gone.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be really hard to see the Colts like have a successful year unless they're able to like rev up their like what's it called, their running game with Jonathan Taylor. So there could be a chance they take an offensive lineman.
Okay,
Just to,
they don't have a quarterback, and they don't think. Have they even picked up a quarterback in free agency? No, right? Okay, they're probably gonna take quarterback.
I think.
Yeah.
I
Will
think,
Levis or Anthony Richardson?
I think Anthony Richardson will follow this draft class because of the risk, and teams don't want to
Yeah.
spend like a top 5 pick on someone that they don't know 100%. Like the other 3 guys have proven to be like players that can perform at high level.
Anthony
but
Richardson's a project.
he's like has the
Bryce Young already
potential.
drafted?
Well, yes, in our mock, he was a first overall, but not obviously.
So I feel like he's gonna fall.
So Will
'cause-
Levis, we're going Will Levis.
I think Will Levis because he's more like
Will Levis.
Yeah.
To the Colts.
All right.
Okay,
Now,
pick number 5 to the Seahawks. I'm pretty sure Will Anderson's who they're gonna pick. They already got Geno Smith. Already got good running back depth with Kenneth Walker. I mean, they've already got stud corners, Tariq Woolen. I don't really know what they need. They already made the playoffs last year, and they get a free top 5 pick because the Broncos are bad. Probably take Will Anderson.
If Pete Carroll said they're going to focus on defense, unless the top two, like Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, they're gone, then they'll focus on quarterbacks. So I think it's going to be defense.
Yeah, they're probably gonna get Will Anderson.
So either Will Anderson or Tyree, but I think Will Anderson just more dominant.
Yeah.
Overall better.
all I'm gonna say is Seahawks are looking very scary next year. They are going to. It is going to be a challenge for Niners.
Geno just gotta keep playing the way he did. Otherwise, if he goes back to being Geno, then it's bad.
NFC is going to be.
Alright, Will Anderson.
Yeah.
Okay.
the Lions.
6th pick, the Lions have him. Who do you think they're gonna take?
They could go a lot of different ways. Like
I mean, their overall offseason has been kind of a disaster now because of the whole Jameson Williams and basically a lot of their defense getting suspended. So it's kind of hard to see. Maybe I think they might just trade down because just a lot of bad stuff has happened. So yeah.
yeah, so you
I'm
can't do
scared of
trades.
this. Jacob.
You can't do trades in this mock draft. So assuming that they keep their pick, who do you guys think they're gonna get?
Probably Devin Witherspoon.
Yeah, they could go corner. They could go that guy from Oregon, Christian Gonzalez.
Dude, I think
Is he top 10 predicted pick? He might be.
yeah, he is.
Okay.
Or he's like right outside.
Yeah.
Or he's like the second best corner. outside
Devin
of
Witherspoon guy from Illinois. He's like a good pick.
Yeah, so Witherspoon.
Yes, sir. Okay, we move on to pick number 7. Let's kind of go quickly through this. The Raiders.
I think.
I mean, they've had terrible first-round draft picks, so no matter what they do, the player will be a bust.
I think it's gonna be D lineman or edge rusher or corner.
They need no.
They need
they
just-
already
they need
have
every possession,
They already
every
have
possession.
no. They already have D linemen. Their offense is literally filled with weapons. The
Is
biggest
their
thing,
O-line good?
their O line's not
It
that.
used to be, but they traded it.
They need a good quarterback too, because
Exactly.
Jimmy
I don't think
Garoppolo.
they're
They have one of the
Well,
worst passes.
They're gonna keep Jimmy because they 100%.
There's no way they draft a quarterback after paying Jimmy like so much
Yeah,
money.
they're not gonna get a quarterback.
So I think it's definitely going to be a cornerback, probably Christian Gonzalez, and
Or-
if Witherspoon's not taken, probably Witherspoon, or Joey Porter Jr.
That's a little weird. Joe Porter, I think, will be mid to late first
Yeah.
round. So we're going with Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon.
Okay.
You-
Yeah.
Falcons, I think this is what they showed in the offseason is focus on their edge. They got Calais Campbell, but he's pretty old. He'll do more like veteranship and
Yeah.
teaching. So I think they have to go edge rusher, and Tyree Wilson's still here. He was a projected top 5, but then kind of fell out a little bit. So I think it's going to be Tyree Wilson at 8 because they need edge rusher.
Yeah, but I think they still have a pretty weak offense. Like
It's a
no, they
Falcons.
have no real QB. So maybe, just maybe, like unless they stick with Taylor Heineke,
They have Ritter though.
He's young.
Desmond
Ritter
Ritter.
will probably start though.
That's
Yeah.
true. But,
Because Ritter's also a project. It takes some time.
yeah.
Anyway, we said Tyree Wilson. Let's move on to the Bears. Obviously, Justin Fields was playing phenomenal the second half of the season. So they'll probably have to give him some sort of protection because he was just running the ball, and you don't want your potential future.
Bears defense is pretty decent.
Yeah,
It's
fine.
it's okay, and now that you have someone like DJ Moore who
Yeah,
can actually
DJ Moore. I
protect
mean,
you,
you
in
already
the
still
pocket.
have Darnell Mooney too. So
Yeah, they have good weapons too.
yeah, and they also got who's the running back they got?
It's not
Montgomery,
Herbert?
right?
No,
David
Yeah,
Montgomery.
Montgomery.
He's
No,
like
no,
okay.
Montgomery.
Montgomery's
He's
left.
gone?
He left.
Oh, they have Herbert then Khalil Herbert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
maybe
good.
they go running back. Maybe they get Bijan. But they'll probably end up getting
I
something
thought
offensive
they got a
line.
running back.
Speaking of Bijan, let's talk about the Eagles.
Well,
who-
Bears we're going. Who we're going? Peter Skoronski.
Yeah,
for
Peter
offensive line.
Skoronski.
Alright, we're going
think-
Peter Skoronski.
Tackle.
I'm gonna say something that might make Jacob a little sad, but I think they trade this pick in the Derrick Henry trade.
Oh,
So you're coming to the Eagles
I've never
or Bears?
To the Bears? That'd be good.
to the
That'd be
Bears. That would be
good.
kind of cool, but they have no real protection.
But what are they gonna give for Derrick Henry? Because you gotta give up something.
I don't think they're gonna give up a first round pick.
Are they gonna give up that pick?
So
to
the
Derrick Henry?
Bears do whatever they want, but then I'm saying when the Eagles pick comes,
Well, it depends. We're gonna go Peter Skoronski for this pick, but in like real life, if the Titans do trade Derrick Henry away, what would they get in return?
I think it'd be a late first rounder, probably second rounder.
well, I think they get the Eagles pick, right?
I feel like the Eagles have also the 30th pick.
So they get both picks.
Well, are we talking about the
they
Bears
would
right
not
now?
get both
No.
first rounders. They'll get probably the 30th at max. Because Derrick Henry's old, and running backs aren't that
He's
valuable
still
that
no.
much.
He's still.
I think
still
they give
good,
up
though.
this pick.
He still could be good though.
It's
I think they give up this
No, but
pick and like
He's not gonna be as good
The
as.
thing about Aaron Rodgers though, he's one of the best quarterbacks, and he'd be
Okay,
able
you
to
cannot
first round.
compare
Yeah, but it's a
quarterbacks
quarterback, I
and
think
running.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
think at
exactly.
this
So like,
time-
if Aaron Rodgers got if you didn't even get a first rounder, how would Derrick
They
Henry
did
get
get
a
a
first
first
rounder?
swap first.
No,
I
it's-
think
it's
at this point
conditional.
Tennessee has to hit the reset because
Yeah, I agree.
Completely.
so they have
That's why I
Malik,
think
they
yeah,
have
take
Malik
quarterback.
Willis already.
He's shit.
Yeah.
He's terrible, bro. Have you seen the game film? He can't make decisions. He fumbles the ball every single play.
So, realistically, as like obviously we don't have trades, so I think we're taking for the Eagles.
Maybe what the Tennessee does is they trade up, they give up. So the
They
Eagles
take
give up
Anthony
that
Richardson?
pick, and then they take Will Levis with that pick. The Titans.
We want to take
Why
Will
would they
Levis
take Will
gone.
Levis? Yeah, Will
Maybe
Levis.
Anthony Richardson.
Will
Well,
Levis is
if-
probably
if
gone
Rich-
by now.
If Richardson's still on the board,
Because no,
one of the
the
QB.
Titans are the next pick after the Eagles. They're the 11th pick.
Yeah, and we're trying to trade the. Well, in this scenario, the Bears would trade up. We trade up 2 picks and Derrick Henry, or we get 2, or we keep our 11th pick.
I think you keep the pick.
Okay, so that's a big trade.
Yeah.
Anyway, I still think Peter Skronsky. Yeah.
So what about the Eagles?
Okay.
Eagles?
So on the Eagles, we saw her when Nate said thinks Derrick Henry will get traded on draft day. Which
But
is pretty sad for
Without
Titans.
without trades, realistically, they're probably taking Bijan. Bijan's the best
The
running back
Eagles
out of this
or the
entire
Bears?
Eagles.
Eagles, because they lost.
Yeah,
him.
the Eagles do need running backs. Miles Sanders is gone.
Miles
they'll probably
Sanders. Didn't he
get-
go to the Bears?
Oh, he might have gone.
And
He
with
went somewhere.
and they still have an elite O line with Jason Kelsey still staying, Lane Johnson still staying.
And they went to the Super Bowl last year. So
Yeah.
how did they even get the 10th pick? Who traded with them?
They traded with the
Saints.
Saints.
When?
I think it was like
Last
a
year?
year, a few years, 2 years ago. I think.
And what trade?
I don't know.
Was it J.J.?
Well, I remember that.
J.J.?
I think it was 2 years ago. I don't
I think
remember.
it might have been a trade up last year's draft. Or
Yeah,
2
might
years
have
ago.
been. Oh, was it? It was Chris Olave.
Yeah.
Yeah, swap it.
Ah.
Okay.
So Bijan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bijan.
I mean, Eagles are probably going to the
And
Super Bowl.
assuming the Titans are trading up, which they probably are, Titans are most likely going to take JSN, probably the best receiver out of this entire class.
Yeah, we need receivers.
But
I could see
who's
it
gonna,
going
who's
Anthony
gonna throw to
Richardson.
them though?
That's the problem.
Tannehill was last year. He was good. He was fine last year. Was injured, but we have Tannehill still his last year. So I think we do take Anthony Richardson here because we kind of need a quarterback.
I think what happens is whatever happens, they hit the reset. However it is,
Yeah,
they hit the
the
reset,
reset's
they
gonna
get
be
their
so-
quarterback.
Here's the thing, though.
Is it next year? I think next year we try to get a quarterback in Caleb Williams.
I think a lot of people want to see JSN reunite with CJ Stroud. So maybe they trade with the Texans. The Texans trade away their future draft picks.
The Texans are right 1 pick below us,
Yeah.
so they'll trade up probably like a 7 or something.
Yeah, maybe next year's picks, because maybe the Texans are trying to like go all out this season and probably make some big free agency signings after the draft.
They're still in rebuild mode. They're not going
Yeah.
They need players, like young players.
They need good.
Alright,
young
let's move on.
players. Good
We
young
think
So who?
Jackson Smith,
All right, Jason.
Jason. Okay, let's move on to the Texans. What do we have for the Texans? What
They don't
information?
need a running back for sure.
No, yeah,
Probably-
David.
And
Pierce.
assuming they get CJ Stroud, they don't need a quarterback anymore.
They don't need a quarterback either. They get
It'd probably be their defense. Their defense is very.
Who's their
lackluster.
corner? Do they have corners?
No.
Do
No, they have the 3rd pick last year.
What about Paris
The
Johnson?
pick
They go
before
Paris
Sauce.
Johnson. Who?
Last year's draft.
There's probably a reason we don't-
Oh,
Yeah,
Derek Stingley.
Derek Stingley.
He's hurt though, right?
He was good, but like he got overshadowed by Sauce. Because Sauce had a Pro Bowl season.
Was he good? I thought he was hurt though.
He was good.
I never watched Texans.
He was pretty good, but like he always got overshadowed by how good Sauce was.
Yeah, because Sauce was good. Who do you think they take? Is Paris Johnson still there?
Just any corner.
'Cause if they're getting
realistically.
CJ Stroud,
I think
they might
take a
get
corner.
Paris Johnson.
They take
Corner?
a corner, or if JSN is not off the board, they're taking JSN so they can pair him up with CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud, JSN, that's literally unstoppable. 2 Ohio State.
It
rookies.
gives me like LSU like Jamar.
Yeah, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. That would be insane, dude.
So they're probably gonna go offensive line though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So who do we think? We think like Darnell Wright or Paris Johnson. I think those are the 2 options here for offensive line.
Yeah.
I think Darnell Wright is kind of
Texans go offensive line.
Yeah, because well in our mock draft he has CJ Stroud already.
Yeah.
You already got Derek Stingley on defense from last year's draft. You got Damian Pierce, solid, and you really have a terrible offensive line. And you're
They have statistically, according to PFF, they have the worst offensive line.
exactly. And they Davis Mills, he can like not allow CJ Stroud, but you need someone to protect the gem. You know, it's like having Patrick
I
Mahomes
would
about the
say,
offensive
like,
line. Remember Joe Burrow with
You gotta get a high end. You gotta get your high end, like your important guys first, and then like I say later in the draft, like 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, they go offensive linemen. But I think now they go like a linebacker,
like receiver.
Not a receiver.
Remember when the Bengals skipped up on Penei Sewell and got Jamar Chase, and everyone was like, "Ha, you're a loser."
I thought they were dumb. I
I
thought
was
they
like,
were such
bro,
a
you
horrible
was so
pick.
dumb, bro. And then there's like the greatest pick of all time.
Someone to rush the passer. They don't have JJ Watt anymore, so they need their
They
next.
haven't had JJ Watt for 2 years.
Yeah.
More.
More?
Yeah.
You got traded. in
But like
20.
he was their legacy. He was their
Yeah.
like.
So who
guy,
do you
right?
think
So
they go
need that
defense?
next.
So I think the best edge rusher is either Nolan Smith, Khalil Jack Kinsey, or Miles Murphy.
And I think
let's go
the
Nolan
rest
Smith.
of
Yeah,
the.
Nolan Smith. Probably.
Yeah, Nolan Smith it is.
Just one thing about Nolan Smith, I think he ran a 4.4.
He had like an insane.
He had one of the fastest combines for. He had the fastest combine for a D1, right?
Yeah.
He was like
Alright, let's move on.
receiver pace.
Wait, who do we?
We pick a pick
Nolan Smith. The 13th pick, the Packers got it from the trade with the Jets.
QB.
I don't think it's because
No,
they
they
already
have
have Jordan Love.
they said they want to work around Jordan Love.
And Jordan Love's been sitting behind A-Rod, who had an MVP season, and then kind of just fell off.
Maybe
He
a
probably learned a
receiver?
lot from Aaron Rodgers. Do you think they go receiver? I mean, they already got Christian Watson,
Like-
solid receiver. They could go tight end here. 'Cause they don't have a tight end.
No,
The best tight end's like that.
Tunyon's been doing
Yeah,
it.
No, but he's mainly a blocking tight end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's under category.
I think what they need is
They also got the-
they
I think
just
their
need
corners are good.
they need a receiving core because they have corners.
Christian
they have,
Watson's already good though. And
They have Christian Watson. He had some rookie struggles, but I think he's really their only receiving core.
So
I
they go
remember
USC,
there's this
Jordan
one really
Addison.
good guy. Who's on their defensive line or like?
the one that showed the line trainer or which one? Remember that?
That
That
too.
was so funny.
Eli?
I forgot.
D line.
Preston Smith.
Yeah, he's really good.
Isn't he
So they-
out? Is he
Yeah, he's
out?
still So
He's,
Darius
he's
Smith.
okay.
Oh, wait, wasn't he on the Vikings or something?
Yeah, it's
Alright, so
Darius
who we
Smith
taking
on
for the
Vikings.
13th pick from the Packers?
So wide receiver or tight end?
Jordan Addison or Dalton Kincaid? That's what I'm thinking. It's your pick. buddy.
Probably
I don't know.
Dalton Kincaid.
Okay, let's go Dalton Kincaid. He's a tight end.
Yeah.
Alright, 14th pick, the Patriots.
Yeah.
Do they give
What
up
do they
on
really need?
Mac Jones or they try to count?
No, they keep going with Mac Jones. I mean, knowing
Do they need
both-
rush? They kind of need rush. I mean, I think
No,
they
Mac-
No,
kinda-
they have
Matt
Judon. They
Judon.
have Matt Judon. He
Yeah,
went
Judon.
crazy last year.
Not Judon's old.
Yeah, but he literally
He's
had
still-
like
What do the
18
Patriots need?
sacks.
Receiver? The Patriots need receiver.
Who's their?
No,
corners?
they got Juju, and they also
They got
Devontae
Juju.
Parker.
Yeah.
Devontae Parker.
Do they need offensive
Or not
line?
Devontae.
Their receivers. I think their offense.
Offense
Maybe
is
a running
fine.
back.
No,
they
Ron
have,
Stevenson was
yes.
phenomenal last season.
They have
Yeah, running-
Ramondre, who had a breakout season last
But
year.
like.
Yeah.
They,
They don't really need anything. They can go offensive line, I guess, to help with the Mac Jones and Ramondre.
How have we not drafted Anthony Richardson?
I think he's gonna go. I think my prediction is he goes to the Commanders. He falls.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So who are we gonna pick for the Patriots?
Maybe it could be.
What about Darnell Wright?
Just he didn't get
do the
drafted by the
Patriots
Texans.
need
Texans.
the pick?
Patriots.
I have no idea what they're gonna do with this. Wait, how did they get this? They just know.
This is their own.
Oh,
pick.
okay. So we're gonna
I
go
mean,
Darnell Wright.
realistically, they're gonna. I think in this one we can obviously draft someone for them, but I think they're gonna trade.
I think they could trade to it, but who?
They could trade it to.
I think the Commanders could try to trade up for Anthony Richardson.
And he just moved down to 16.
Who else
Yeah.
is between them?
Just the Jets. The Jets are not drafting.
Yeah, Jets. I don't think.
So maybe they just wait because we know the Jets aren't drafting quarterbacks. They got Rodgers.
I think the Jets have a really strong team fundamentally.
Who's the Steelers QB?
It's
Pickett.
Trubisky.
Pickett.
Oh no, Trubisky is
The backup.
released. Probably.
I think the
Pickett
Steelers
is
could.
probably not that good.
Yeah, Steelers should trade up and get steal Richardson from.
But Pickett had an okay season. They'll probably try to stick it out with him.
Yeah.
He's hometown.
They just need no. What they need is just like an overall offensive, like kind of.
They need. I think they need receivers.
They need receivers.
They have Deontay Johnson.
Juju.
Who?
Oh, you're talking
They have
about
Deontay Johnson.
No, we're talking about.
The Patriots.
He's talking about the Steelers.
Oh, I'm talking about the Patriots.
Oh, you see who the Pats drafting?
Who? I have no idea.
Uh,
He's getting deep.
I think.
Say Darnell Wright, boosted defensive.
Probably.
Is Darnell Wright a defender?
Kalea can't see. I've not heard of that dude.
Elijah? Can't see.
Yeah, Elijah can't.
Darnell Wright. I like Darnell Wright.
Okay, they either go receiver, which is relatively like.
I mean, USC's Jordan Addison's really fast.
Yeah.
Jordan Addison.
Jordan Hanson.
Jordan Addison.
Yeah, sure.
Jordan Addison sounds good to me.
Okay, Let's talk about the Jets.
Number 15, the Jets already have their quarterback. Will they go receiver? Maybe. I mean,
No,
got
they
really
won't
good
go
receivers.
receiver.
They probably just need some overall. Like,
Yeah, I don't think they can
their
go receiver.
defense is already pretty good. I think what they need is just pressure. So like off like D lineman,
Mhm.
probably an edge rusher. So, with that being said, I think
I don't know.
They have Kalia Jancy, who's like,
Kalijah.
he's like a T line in the middle of the pack. But you also have Miles Murphy, who's an edge rusher. He was projected top 5, but then he like fell like a lot. So you either have the edge rusher or D line.
yeah. So
What about offensive line?
probably an edge rusher. No, their offensive line is pretty okay. So I mean,
Oh, yeah, he did fine.
it was probably just because Zach Wilson was their QB that they got sacks.
So who we taking? Because Jordan Addison's already off.
So just Miles Murphy.
I guess so.
The Commanders, I think it's pretty easy. Anthony Richardson, they're lucky that he fell so far.
Good, yeah.
So unless they don't trade up for him, I think they draft him here.
And maybe Heineke goes on the move.
He's
Heineke already
already
left
on the move.
Where's
the Falcons.
He's
I
gonna be the
go
new
out
backup
Anthony Richardson.
to
Right,
Ritter,
right.
right?
to Ritter.
Okay, number 17, the Steelers probably go offensive line, protect
Six.
Kenny Pickett. And our thing is Paris Johnson still there? Who's the
He's-
best offensive line?
I think it's Darnell Wright.
Is Levis still on the board?
Darnell Wright?
He was like
Okay.
Levis was drafted.
Take Donald out right now.
Perfect. Okay.
Number 18, the Lions. Ooh.
A lot of things. We already drafted Witherspoon, I think, for the Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they could continue building on their defense or work on their offense is pretty star-studded right now. But
Or they just go offensive line.
Who
Get
are their
offensive
running
line, too.
backs? The Lions.
DeAndre Swift.
Wait,
They
Deontay
had a
Banks is
bad
the
season
defender.
last year.
But he's also like spitting with like Jamal Williams. but
Yeah,
that's
Jamal
the
Williams the
touchdowns.
most goal line touchdowns. What about defense? Because remember
Defense,
they
like-
traded away Jeff Okuda.
Yeah, the best players are Deontay Banks and
I'd say Deontay
What did they
Banks.
get
Kalia
back for Jeff
Jancy and
Okuda?
Brian Birch.
Oh, Jeff
But-
Kenty.
But they don't need Brian Birch because they got CJ.
They did take Kalijah.
What did they get back for
Kalijah, yeah.
Okuda?
Who did like a 5th round pick?
Yeah, Okuda was not that good. He was just third overall pick, and now he's a bust. And now everyone knows who he is. He's Ohio
Kalia
State.
Jancy.
Kalijah Kenty, yes sir. Okay. That moves to number 19, the Buccaneers. You kind of got to move at some pace.
Bucks are going full rebuild with. They have
Yeah.
Kyle
They have Baker
Trask
Mayfield
and
as the
Baker
quarterback.
Mayfield as their QB, which is,
Could they draft the quarterback?
this is going to be the bottom team. This is going to be this
You
year's
trade away
Texans.
Mike Evans in the pick.
Yeah, Mike Evans. Mike Evans is most likely going to be just traded away because I don't think he wants to stay with the Bucks.
Who's on the best? Who's the best player on our big board so far? Available.
Brian Branch, Paris Johnson, Deontay Banks.
Okay. I mean, I could see Paris Johnson.
But realistically, they're going to.
Actually, I don't know. The offensive line was pretty good. Was it good last season?
Yeah, they had a good offensive line.
Because they got the Tristan Wirfs. He's really
They
good.
have Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, Wirfs is good. So who do you think they go? They go
You
like,
think defense
running
or
back?
offense?
They need a running back. Fournette's gone too.
I think Wirfs is probably going to get traded with Mike Evans for some big blockbuster trade.
I think you're reaching a little bit. Wirfs is
I
not
know.
getting
I
traded.
don't think
Mike
Wirfs
Evans
is
could-
getting traded.
Mike
Wirfs
Evans
is
could
like
get
their
traded.
part of their
Wirfs,
core.
yeah, he's basically like. I think he's one of the best right tackles.
I think
in
they
the
gotta go
league, other
defense
than
then.
Lane
'Cause
Johnson.
they already got Antoine Winfield, who's good on defense.
Like
Yeah.
maybe
So
the
not
Bucks trade
Brian
up and
Bench.
get their
No.
their QB.
What about
Just
Kalijah
Deont-
Kenty? Is he already gone? Or he just-
Jay- last
That was
pick.
the last pick. Okay.
There's still Deontay Banks and
Yeah, Banks.
Brian
Go
Bench.
Banks. Go Banks.
I think the Bucks defense is also pretty good.
Okay. Buccaneers take Deontay Banks. Moving on, number 20, the Seahawks. I don't know what they're gonna do with it.
I thought they were going
Paris
to get
Johnson?
Deontay Banks to match up with Tariq Woolen.
Okay, what
But
about
now that he's
Paris
gone, I
Johnson?
think
I think
no,
overall.
they don't need Paris Johnson because last year they got Abraham Lucas and
Oh
Charles
yeah,
Cross.
yeah. Charles Cross is really good.
I think overall the Seahawks are really good so far
Do they trade down?
with Jalen Carter.
I think they
Not
would
Jalen
trade
Carter.
down here.
Okay, but we can't really trade down in this
Yeah,
scenario.
so I think Joey Porter Jr. can
Joey
match
Porter?
off Tariq
Yeah.
Woolen.
Yeah, that was a good pick.
I think, in my opinion, Joey Porter Jr. He's one of the best like thinking corners in this draft. The only problem is he's a very like. He just needs to work on his mechanics more or less. So yeah, I think. Do we want to cover his next 10 picks?
Yeah.
We
That's
should
it.
speed run it.
Okay.
Okay.
So the Dolphins are another pick. They're forfeited.
Because they were tampering with Tom Brady. Well, did the Chargers move to 21 or they just have 22?
They have 21.
Okay, the Chargers move up. Who do they take?
Chargers are most likely. Gonna
Oh,
take
okay, it's perfect. I think they take a receiver. Because
Yeah.
Keenan Allen and what's the other receiver?
Mike
Michael
Williams.
They both been hurt
They're
for
so
like
injured.
majority of the season. They gotta take Quinn.
But they have the guys behind them are pretty good. Joshua Palmer. and-
Yeah, but you can always go more receiver depth. Plus, you're not gonna get a quarterback because you already
And
have
this-
Justin Herbert.
Realistically, this is
Your
probably
offensive
going to be
line-
Justin Herbert's
yeah.
breakout season again.
Either O line or wide receiver.
Yeah, I was gonna say they take
Is their defense?
Quentin Johnson.
Their
Uh,
defense is probably
receiver.
really strong.
I think they go TCU receiver Quentin
So
Johnson.
Quentin Johnson.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Ravens.
I don't know
Ravens,
what
they're
they're
keeping
doing.
Lamar, and they got Odell now.
Defensive.
Probably their defense is actually pretty okay.
But it's all-
Maybe
It's
O-line.
most
They
likely
trade away
O-line.
Ron Stanley.
O-line or receiver.
What if they
assuming
go-
assuming
yeah.
Quentin Johnson isn't off the board, and we still have a lot of receivers left.
What about a guard? What do they go guard?
No, their guard. They have one of the best guards in the league. I forgot his name.
What about Brian Branch? Go Brian Branch.
Brian Branch or Paris Johnson Jr.
Brian Branch.
Oh, Paris Johnson Jr.'s phone. Okay, go Brian Branch. Like, they don't really need offensive line.
Wait, don't they have safeties though?
They have
Earl.
It's
Yeah.
the Ravens.
they have
yeah,
decent
Ravens.
safeties, I think. What's his name? Forgot his name. Anyways,
So they're going
Branch
Brian
or Paris
Branch.
Johnson?
Branch.
Branch.
Okay. Minnesota Vikings. They don't need receiver. They don't really need quarterback. They don't need running back. They just need defense, I guess. Or they could go offensive line.
I think
their
offensive
defense,
line.
their
Paris
defense was
Johnson?
pretty abysmal.
Paris Johnson. Not bad.
But like,
Paris
I
Johnson.
feel like that's
Okay,
just a product
Vikings
of
take
coaching
Paris
because
Johnson.
They have talent.
Or the Jaguars.
Can they go Osiris Torrance? Is he still up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So hit Osiris Torrance.
Yeah, because Jackson needs to protect Trevor.
The Giants. They need a wide receiver, but there's not any wide receivers that they should reach for.
Zay Flowers, Boston College.
You think they should?
I think
That's
they
kind
should
of
go
a
Zay
reach, though.
Flowers.
Zay Flowers.
I think Zay
Flowers
Flowers
is-
would be a late first.
Zay Flowers is a very strong pick. In my
Alright.
opinion. He's a very
Okay.
good receiver.
So he's good. Yeah. Okay. Number 26, the Cowboys. Cowboys.
They can still get Emmanuel Forbes.
Oh, and
Or
no,
Luke Van Ness.
Okay.
They're
Luke
back
Van
up.
Ness might have fallen a little bit. Should we go Luke Van Ness for the Cowboys?
Yeah.
They really need linebacker depth. Luke Van Ness is linebacker, right?
Yeah, he's edge rusher. Line.
Okay. Go Luke Van Ness.
Jags. No, they have Trayvon Walker, but I guess yeah.
But you can always get more. Just
This is the
depth is
Cowboys.
good in the NFL.
Yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense.
Oh yeah, we're talking about the Cowboys, not the Jaguars.
Or the Bills.
Okay, well they can go corner here. 'Cause how?
No,
if they're going
they-
against the
Or
They
They-
already have decent corners.
They have
Yeah,
Michael
they
Mayer
still have
fell a lot.
Tre'Davious.
Yeah, dude. They
Oh yeah, well
I mean,
they're
honest,
Dawson
Dawson Knox
yeah,
is
Michael
really
Mayer,
not
Michael
great.
Mayer. That
I think-
Wait, do the Bills
really
still have
good.
Tre'Davious White?
Yeah.
yeah, they do. So
He
I
didn't
mean,
hurt though.
So I think tackle.
tackle.
There's still a lot.
Well, are
of
you gonna go Michael Mayer or are you gonna go Michael Mayer?
I don't think they're gonna take Michael Mayer because they have Dawson Knox.
I don't know what other.
So Broderick Jones or Anton Harrison.
What about John Michael Schmidt?
Or they go like they have two good like really.
What about
good
Cody
receivers.
Mach? North Dakota State.
Look, good down. What about where did that receiver? What about Josh Downs?
I don't think they need because they have Gabe Davis.
Oh,
They have two receivers, but they
Gabe
got-
Davis
Cole
is pretty.
Beasley.
Yeah. Gabe Davis is pretty okay.
Cody Mach.
He's not really that great. So I think they just need to kind of
What about
refresh
Mozzie
their
Smith?
receiving
Mozzie
core.
Smith.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Josh Downs is a good.
It's
pick.
mostly. I
Josh
think it's mostly they just lost because they're in one of the most. They're in the most competitive division of the league.
The AFC or AFC, like AFC East specifically?
AFC like East specific.
Well, both. The AFC better than the NFC, I think.
If they want a corner, they can get Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah, I think Emmanuel Forbes would be a good pick for the two. Oh, Mozzie Smith. Is he still up there?
Yeah,
Maybe,
he's still there.
Okay, I think we should move on to the.
Okay, wait, who do they take? Number 27. The Bills.
Emmanuel
Yeah.
Forbes.
Emmanuel Forbes back.
Alright.
Because they could use cornerback depth for Jamar Chase and all the players to play the Bengals and the Chiefs.
And the
Um,
Bengals, let's make this quick and easy. They're probably going to draft a tight end, mostly because they traded away Hunter Henry.
Or they
So-
could go offensive lineman. But Michael Myers,
Yeah,
Michael
but they-
Myers is there, so they'll probably take him.
But they have Orlando Brown now.
Yeah. Okay, take him.
And-
I bet.
You know, the Saints from the Niners pick.
29.
Tackle.
Tackle or
Probably-
guard center. Steve Avila.
With Derek Carr, I think they just need.
Steve
They have
Avila.
a receiving core. They have a really good running back. They mostly just need defense, to be honest. The defense isn't all too great.
What about TCU Steve Avila? Is he up there?
Yeah, he is.
Should we take him?
Yeah.
Not good. Okay. Okay. Our last two picks, right?
No,
What's
we
the last one, right?
No.
Eagles and the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Eagles. Okay, the Eagles. Who do you think the Eagles take? Because they've pretty much got everything.
They got
And they've already gotten
Robinson
Bijan,
already,
yeah.
so they don't need a running back.
They legit don't need anything. They just trade down.
I think
probably is going to be traded by some other team.
I think D-line because they lost.
Yeah, because they lost what's his name?
He went to the Niners.
Hargrave, Von Hargrave. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they need a tackle.
you got
So for 31,
Yeah,
where do they go?
defensive tackle. And then.
Bozzie Smith.
Yeah, sure. That's perfect.
Yeah.
And the last pick of the draft, the Chiefs. They'll probably go receiver because they lost all the receivers.
But Josh Downs. So.
Yeah, take Josh down, I guess.
All right, so that
Chiefs
was
receiving corps.
yeah.
That was our first round. We'll have a video recording of our mock draft, so that's gonna be pretty cool.
yeah. So thank you guys for watching. And I hope you guys enjoyed.
Hey, smoking up back. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah, bitch, show me that back. Hey, what? Hey, I'm blowing up fast. Yeah. Hey, you know I'm next. Yeah, hey, collecting rings like I'm Sonic.